You just let me know when.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite paranormal investigator. My name's Tim Sedano. I always forget the side, and this is Paranormal Insight. And today I have Aage Nost with us, the world-renowned Aage Nost. From broadcasting. He's done it all. He was a everything. He's done it all. If it's about UFOs and disclosure, he's done it all. He was a fellow broadcaster. He's also a fellow podcaster, and he is here with us today. Without further ado, please welcome Aage Nost. Aage, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I love to be here, and I have coffee in hand. I think you can see.
Same.
Yeah, there we go. And I am ready to go.
Fantastic. Why don't you clue our audience in a little bit about your background? Give us a minute or two of who you are and what you're about and where you're at currently.
Oh boy. I don't know. There's a few things to choose from. I was born and raised back in Norway, in the northern part of it, halfway up the country, and on a farm. And I figured it out after a while, after agricultural college, that I didn't want to do that all the rest of my life. So at the age of 25, I left Norway, went to the United States to become a professional pilot. And I did that. Me and a partner, we had a flight school, an international air taxi, and a commuter, or should I say, air carrier. And then after 23 years of flying, I burned out because I was doing too much of it. And I started doing other things, developing the mind and doing hypnosis more. And I ended up doing some radio shows of my own. And then I started getting into TV, and I was hosting and producing 2 TV shows in Tucson for 6 years when I was covering all the stuff that people are not supposed to know about. And that got pretty hairy. So yeah, that was quite hairy.
Gotcha.
But here now I am with you, and we're going to have an interesting discussion.
We are. He runs a YouTube podcast called Broadcast Team Alpha, and he and his broadcast partner share all kinds
Broadcast
of
Team Alpha.
.com or There's
Yeah,
it's
I
also
have
a
a
website.
wonderful yeah, and also I have a co-host, Nori Love. And we've been doing this for, I think, about 7 years now, something like that.
That's awesome.
And we have been, you and me, we are very privileged because we get to rub shoulders and associate with some of the most interesting people in the world.
Indeed.
And I love it.
Me too. It's a great gig.
Yeah.
Heidi, you want to say hello to Heidi in the chat? Hi, Heidi. Thanks for joining us. As always, she's our super supporter. She's always here. Let's jump into some fun stuff. We're going to go to the Broadcast Team Alpha site, YouTube channel, and we froze on a picture. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
Oh, this one. Yeah, this one is interesting. This is the NASA print that dates back quite a while. And in the upper middle, you can see a pyramid sitting on the ground. Now, you know that opens up this opens up a can of worm, because a pyramid, somebody had to build that.
Yes.
And then another lie that comes to the surface right now is that you don't build pyramids in spacesuits. There is air on the moon.
You think? Okay. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing.
Yep.
I also want to ask more than anything. I want to see. Do you think that is barely just the tip of said pyramid? Do you think that thing goes deeper?
I have no idea.
Oh,
But
okay.
uh, yeah, there's terrain around it is it's hard to say the size of things,
Yeah. Do you
but
know which crater this is?
no.
Okay.
Eh, if you can find out more information on it, go to Broadcast Team Alpha on YouTube and search for the moon pictures,
Yes,
and
we're
you can
actually
see this
in
one.
that right now.
Yeah, and 20 other pictures that show buildings and ships, and there's a 2 mile long cigar shaped ship floating across the surface and showing a shadow on the ground.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
I
Let's.
know that is not one that was created by CGI. First of all,
Yeah.
yeah, there's two. If you go back a little bit, you're going to find some really interesting pictures because uh, the I think the
Okay.
second picture in. Oh,
I'm sorry. It's
did you
going
see
right
that
now.
swastika?
No.
I think you hovered over it, so it brought that picture.
This picture
No,
here.
yeah,
Swastika.
that's
I see the
no,
lines.
no, no.
I see the ship in the shadow.
Yeah, this is too. It kind of probably could be like, yeah, there's a ship on the right, and then
Yeah.
there's two pegs coming out of the ground that looks like water tanks or fuel tanks. I know it's not fuel tanks because
Oh,
they
here.
don't use gasoline up there.
They probably use
They have free
some sort
energy.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So if you go
let's
to the very
scoot it.
beginning,
Very beginning.
very
Okay.
beginning of the video, you will find, let's see, a
You
little
want to get
further
past
in,
a little further in?
uh,
That's Nori, your partner.
uh,
Okay.
hey, yeah, a
Let's see
little
here.
further. Yeah,
A little
that's
further
me.
at the moment.
And
Okay. Fair use. Okay. That's the first one. That's picture one at
there
the
we
end of
go. That's
this.
that 2 mile long ship
Yeah. Okay. That's
floating
a
across
ship
the
right
surface.
there.
You know, yeah, the
Okay.
reason I know this is real is
Yeah.
because I wrote to NASA and asked for the print. They didn't send it right away. So I asked again,
Okay.
and then I got it directly from
Hmm.
NASA. So I know it comes from them.
Crazy. That's good. I got a story that I've told my audience, but I don't know if you heard it. When I was at NASA, I was late back from lunch because I heard this Air Force SF or SP, depending on what year you served, telling this story about when he was at Vandenberg, and he says, like a few years before him, other SPs kept coming in and reporting seeing something very similar to that, this cigar-shaped thing hovering over Vandenberg at like one end or another of the airfield, like on the wide side, not the long side, where some of the warehouses were. And the funny thing is, they walked. It seemed like they walked into a cloaking field, like there was a dome projected to hide this thing from sight. But once you walk past this dome, it was clear as day, and there it was floating there. And there was all these dudes working around on the ground, and they're pushing things on big, wide, flat carts, crates, and such, and pushing it into one warehouse. There was a weird blue flash, and there was a corresponding blue flash up in the cargo bay, which was open on a cigar-shaped craft, very much like depicted there. So yeah, that was cool. That was a cool. I was late to lunch because I had to hear his whole story.
Oh, I'll be there.
That was good stuff.
Were you were you there at the time?
I was at NASA in the early 90s as an
Mm,
intern, so everyone ignored me, which was
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Good. Well, good for me anyway. I guess I should
I
say.
think
But
the next picture, I
is the
believe it is. Show the next one.
okay? That's pyramid picture
No, no,
according to
I guess
two.
we. Yeah, if you go there, there is one picture taken by the rover, and there is an alien standing clear as daylight 20 foot away from the rover. That picture was intercepted before NASA could scrub it.
That's great. Okay, that must be the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is this it?
No, that's just a guy walking on the surface of the moon.
Okay.
It's further back.
Further back? Oh, okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I think it's a second picture.
Oh, the second picture, according to your website, is that one with the pyramid. And see the number 2?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a while. It's about 5 years old.
So,
well, it's all in there. If you go there and look, you can find that alien standing.
Oh, that's a cool shot. It looks like a cigar, and it landed right next to the crater. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And there's that one. This is 5. Oh, that's so neat. I love these old pictures. And
that is a picture of green vegetation on the moon.
This one?
No, this one. The green vegetation on the moon.
Yeah, I'm right here.
And also see the letter S.
Yes.
The letter S is right on the surface.
Like that's etched there?
Yep.
It's etched S on the surface. That's cool.
And that S. Yeah.
That's amazing. So let's keep going because I want to see this picture of a guy. Oh, is this the one? The blow up here?
No, it's just a building.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a building. Yeah, I see the corners now. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're just gonna go through these briefly. That's a touch blurry.
Yeah, there are ships parked inside that crater.
Oh, is that the hangar doors? We've seen those before. Is that the hangar doors of the?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's so neat.
Yeah.
I just want to bang through these real quick and see if we can find the guy on the.
That's a ship.
I wonder if that's a ship. That's pretty cool.
It's a crashed cigar.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's well over a mile long.
Yeah.
Crashed and laying there upside down.
Crazy. In this photo or the one before?
Yeah, this is an antenna for something.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Folks, you got to check this out for yourself. They go way more in depth than what we're doing here. That's a better view of the building there. That is clearly a structure. Clearly a structure. That is amazing stuff. So this is what we're talking about this when we say disclosure, folks. I mean, it's right literally in our own backyard.
There is the brick walls inside the crater. That's obviously a structure of something that is so old that it collapsed.
Yeah, it looks like ruins like you would see in the rainforest in South America. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, look at that.
And these are all, this comes out of the Russian Space Agency that was released by the Russians, taken by Luna 1.
I'll be darned.
And yeah.
Look at that. That's amazing. Now, is this a device or is it just wheels?
Oh, it's just wheels.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at more buildings. Look at that. That's amazing.
Yep.
Golly. So, Aage, when you get this stuff and you put it out there, are you getting any flack from whoever? Or
I have been... Boy, this is a little sensitive. I did.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it, I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I don't mind. But when I was doing the TV shows, I was attacked.
Mm.
But I also I I've had an incident, actually two incidents here, where I know I was attacked at my home,
Wow.
and they. It's really strange because in Arizona we don't have grass; we have gravel and sand around our homes.
Yeah.
And they were late at night. I could hear somebody outside the window stepping in the gravel,
Gotcha.
and I could hear the crushing of the gravel. And I just, within about, oh, probably 10 seconds or so, I got really dizzy.
Oh.
So I got up. I had a flashlight on the stand, and I got up and I shined out the window, and I didn't see anybody. They got away. But
Mm.
this has happened twice. And I know that the three-letter agency, they do things like this when they want to get rid of someone.
Okay.
And I want to make a statement here. I don't do suicide. That for losers.
Yes.
I I have things to do, and I want to stay around for the next 275 years. So I want to
Excellent.
be here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well
But
put.
if I catch that guy, if I what I was planning to do, if I saw him there, I was going to get outside. But if I catch the guy, he's probably got bigger problems than he was planning for. But I I don't know who it was.
Wow. That's you suddenly getting dizzy reminds me of the Havana syndrome attacks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still with us. Okay, that's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah. I plan on being around.
Me too. I too am not suicidal. Very happy in my life.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to shout out to Grandmaster UV for joining us in the chat. I didn't get a chance to say so earlier, and also Heidi's here as well. And a welcome to all of our people watching as well. And what else do we have here? So, Aage, when we see this stuff and there's the counter, oh, it's made up, oh, it's CG or AI or any of that fun stuff, you have the receipts that says these pictures are from NASA or are from the either European Space Agency or the Russian Space Agency or anything like that.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I uh, I have the NASA prints from NASA directly to me for quite a few of them, but not all of them. But
Okay.
on the other hand, just because I didn't get it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, because many of them date back way before anybody thought of CGI.
Yes, this is true,
Some
and a
of
lot of
these
people don't
pictures
consider that.
yeah, some of them date back to 1970s.
Yeah, it's
And
incredible.
when you see all these things, it amazes me that people are still asking, are we alone?
I know. I
I,
know.
I cannot fathom. I know the difference between stupidity and ignorance, but I wonder which one they can qualify for, because it is all there.
Yeah, it is, and it's not that hard to find it either. Not anymore. Not these
No.
days.
And in fact, disclosure has happened from government officials. In fact, heads of state have said, yes, the aliens are here.
Oh yes.
And I wrote some notes on this because I wanted to mention it because people need to know that disclosure has already happened. There is a NASA document from 1968.
Ooh.
The document is called Chronological Catalog of Lunar Events. And in there, they they show the different accounts of activity on the moon. They show Buildings, they talk about buildings, they talk about moving objects floating across the surface. And these pictures are not pictures, but the account of it goes back all 300 years from the time they invented the telescope. There is
Wow.
200 different sites of incidents and activities on the moon there. And then there was a NASA scientist. His name was Joseph F. Blumrich. He was a leading engineer at Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. He studied for 2 years all activities that NASA knew about on the moon, as well as he got a whole bunch of pictures from the Russian Space Agency. And the Russians found strange stuff up there. You just saw one of them with a wheelbase.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Russian found this, they released it. And nobody seems to know about this. And Joseph Blumrich, he made a statement after reviewing all the pictures and activities for 2 years. He said, the moon and Earth are and have been visited on a regular basis by extraterrestrials. That I wrote this, I got notes on it, so I want to make sure that the quote was right. And then again, there's more. There's 2 high-ranking Russian scientists that works for the space agency. They came out and said in a quote, the moon is of extraterrestrial origin and has been placed there a very long time ago and is not perfectly natural. Now, that tells us 2 things. First of all, not completely natural. That means that it is manufactured.
Yeah.
And then he said had been moved into orbit. That means that somebody flew it in and parked it in orbit. Now that makes sense to me because of the orbit. It's almost impossible for the size of the moon to get it to be parked in orbit. These scientists have looked at this, and that is a chance of 1 in several million for it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard
Cannot
that.
hardly be done.
Yeah.
But the best one of all, for disclosure, the best one of all is absolutely the one with President Medvedev. I think it's close to 10 years ago now. He was interviewed on national TV in Russia, in Moscow. And after the interview, the interviewer, which was a lady, she asked him, what can you tell us about the extraterrestrial presence? And Medvedev, he thought the camera was off, but it wasn't. And the voice was clear, and he was standing right there on TV in the interview. And he said, well, yeah, he says, when we take office, we get this dossier, that's a file. And he said, in there, it explains the extraterrestrial present, where they're from. And he said, we are talking to them. And when they came back to the station and ran this, they thought it was so good, they ran it on live TV in Moscow.
That's great.
How can you beat that?
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. I'd love to see that footage too. That would be fantastic just to have that extra piece of footage there, you know.
I have seen it. It is ever so often it shows up somewhere, but somebody got their hand on it, so they scrub it pretty fast. But they've tried it. Now, for you guys that love to hear something from the American government, there is something called the Smoking Gun Document.
I think I've heard of this. Go ahead.
Yeah. You can Google the Smoking Gun Document and it will show up. In fact, You don't have to. I'll tell you where it is.
Okay.
Go to Vault, WAULT.gov.FBI. They have a section in there called UFO groups. And it's document number 6751.
Search site.
Document number 6751 on the vault.gov.fbi, and you can read it.
Can I get the number one more
They
time?
say, okay, it's document number 6751. Now, you can, if you read that, it says that there are extraterrestrials coming here, but most of them are interdimensionals.
Oh,
And
very
we are
interesting.
talking with them.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Interdimensional. I mean, that actually answers a few questions too with past alien experiences.
So when somebody say,
yeah, keep going.
when somebody say, when are we going to have disclosure? I got to go back to the definition again of stupidity and ignorance. They just haven't done any research.
Yes.
All you have to ask on the internet, ask AI right now. Ask AI.
Okay.
Ask them, have disclosure been done? And you're going to get a long stream of disclosures.
Hey, Sherry's online.
But of course,
welcome, Sherry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to be careful though, because it will mess with your paradigm. If you are all buried in religion and think anything that isn't written in the Bible is of demon and Satan's work, yeah, don't search, because it'll mess you up really bad. You're going to start finding out some truth, and God knows you don't want that.
Right. I mean, I get that. I'm Catholic. I understand that paradigm shift, but I'm also very curious, and I tend to be more curious than religious, so it worked out for me. But it's still fascinating to see all that great stuff. And I've had my own experiences. I've talked about it on the show before, where I've actually seen an alien being escorted by government officials. So it's for me, it's in cement. But
even religion now, religion is coming around too, because the Pope, he recognized that it will be kind of ignorant to expect that we are alone in the universe, and he says he expects that we will have the contact with extraterrestrials very soon.
Yeah,
so he's coming out saying things like that.
Oh yeah, a lot of the religious leaders are. It's kind of intriguing. There's also he added that the Pope added that you have to wonder if he's in keeping with just kind of keeping it in the frame of doctrine that or dogma rather, that yes, we'll probably find alien creatures, but remember, they're all God's creatures. That's what he said. Or I'm paraphrasing, but it's fascinating. To say the least.
Since God is everywhere, there should be creatures everywhere.
Exactly. So I think that's where he was going with it. Whether he was trying to soften the blow, so to speak, or not, I couldn't tell you. But it's really fascinating stuff. It's really fascinating stuff.
And then we have stone statues of little greys. The way the greys look, those stone statues and carvings of them is everywhere. South America, Middle East, in China, they're all over the place.
It's true.
They saw something.
In Indonesia. You saw some?
Yeah. In order to have these stone statues of little greys with the wraparound eyes and the big heads, and They had to see them in order to make those
Well, that
statues.
makes sense. I thought you said you saw them in person. I haven't
You're
traveled that
muted.
much.
Yeah,
That's really cool. And that's very true as
yeah.
well. I mean, they'd have to. They couldn't just say, you know what, I got this idea per se. Not really. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. There's
I
so much out there
I
as
think,
far as please.
and right before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I told you about 3 or 4 days ago, Obama came out in an interview and he said the aliens are real, but they are not at Area 51. He also said, I have not seen them, so I don't really know much more than that. Well, of course, he was lying about that because the president is briefed on the alien situation.
That's what I understand too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes. And because Obama said that, he opened the door. Now, Trump will be walking through the door. Trump will be the official disclosure president. I
Right.
almost guarantee it for you.
That makes a lot of sense.
It
That makes a
will
lot of
come
sense. I mean, he's
shortly.
kind of, backed into a corner almost to say so.
Yeah.
I mean, so, you know, and, people been,
Yeah.
with all the disclosure hearings and all that fun stuff happening kind of on the side, a little bit mainstream, but more or less on the independent services. I've been seeing it more and more. But then the government also has the live streams of all these different committees, especially UFO disclosure committees.
Yeah.
So I mean, the ramp up to all this has been for me pretty obvious, and I expect it will be this year, if not next year.
I am giving it a few months at the most because there's going to be a lot of talk about this,
Mm.
and I think he's going to have some pressure. I don't think he's going to give us much because I'm not so sure he knows much. But he knows that he can get the rest of the story by telling the head of the CIA, the head of the FBI, give us the information, otherwise I'm going to fire your butt.
Yeah.
So he have the power to get it out.
Here's hoping he executes it. I mean, I've been dying for this to happen for a long time. For a long time. Back when I had black in my beard. It was so bring it on already. I'm anxious. There's something
Yeah.
else that was said recently regarding oh man, I'm blanking on the guy's name. I think his first name's Aaron. He channels that alien. He always closes his eyes, balding fellow like me. I can't remember his name now. But he was being interviewed as himself, not channeling the alien he uses to talk to people. And he says one thing that's was made apparent to me, if not to everyone, was that his narrative is that, and I put it that way just to protect myself more than anything. But his narrative is that there's a galactic federation. All these advanced societies are part of this galactic federation. They've been visiting Earth, pretty much echoing what you just said. But he says what a lot of people don't realize is that Earth is already part of the Galactic Federation, whether they know it or not. So they're under some sort of protection or something like that. That's
Yes. There is protection, and I'm glad it is, because there are some of the extraterrestrials that do not have our best interest at heart,
I've heard that. Yes.
because we know that there's been harvesting. There was a lady that was abducted, found herself in a small room, a round room, and on a table, so there was nobody in the room. She got off the table and walked down a hallway, kind of like a curved hallway. And she looked in one of the rooms, and there were vats of solution. with dead people in it.
Okay.
They were preserved in that solution. So she got back to the room and they came in and they had a communication and they let her go. They took her back, actually. So there are some people that have seen some really alarming things from abductions. So it is not all the dark side of the CIA that is doing these abductions. There are extraterrestrials too that is got a big hand in it, and most of the abductions, they come here and they do take skin samples and things, and then they maybe put a little probe into you so they can communicate with your cellular structure later on. And they can also probably know your thoughts and how you feel about things. I'm not sure how it works, but we are being treated as cattle by some of them.
Well, they're tracking us like animals, like we track animals in the wild. It's and we're able to get
Yeah.
biological information from those trackers now too, more recently. And there's from a medical standpoint, I was pre-med briefly, but your nervous system can actually talk to the entire nervous system. So if you put something in the arm and it's near a nerve, you can actually get all kinds of information, biological information. So
Yes.
yeah, there is that. That's scary.
Now there is. I think about 2 years ago now, there was the head of NASA, Charles Bolden. He said in a speech, by the end of 2025, there will be an alien invasion. And then the next day or a few days afterwards, he was put on permanent medical leave. They removed him from his position and retired him.
Retired him.
They with pay. Yeah, they gave him the pay. So they had a little handle on him so that if he talked, they would pull the pay. And he didn't want to lose his wages, so he just kept silent from there on. So he said there will be an alien invasion, which of course what he was talking about is Project Blue Beam, the fake alien invasion.
Right. And I'm so glad someone leaked that years ago, because I mean they're still kind of tapping it out there a little bit, but by and large, I think that idea has been, for the most part, foiled. For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm super happy
about. There is too much information out now. I think people's going to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, but this is an old project that started back in the 1960s when they say, we don't have the technology to do it yet, but we will by that time, then we do it. So that also ties into other projects. And, well, Medvedev, he talked about the extraterrestrials are here, and several others have talked about it. But Blue Beam, that is something that was, it was decided basically at back in 1960, they started talking about it. But at the World Population Summit in Rio de Janeiro, I think it was in 1996 or something, they decided, yeah, we got to do this. And what they came up with, that Project Blue Beam will be excellent to unite the world under one government. And they had a plan for it. And let me talk a little bit about the plan that they have. There are 4 stages to it. One of them is destroy religion. That's the first one. They're pretty well on target with that.
For the most part.
Because think of it. When the if they have an alien invasion and you see, wake up one morning and you see thousands of ships in the sky, the last people to buy into that that's going to be Christians and Muslims, because in their holy book, they tell you that those guys up there, they're not the good guys.
Yeah.
So when they say, join us under one government and we can fight them, the Christians and the Muslims, they're going to say, no, 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 I don't want to fight those guys. They're the bad guys. Now, they, there's another platform to it, and that is the holographic images that you see in the sky. They are all holographic, except for a few in between here and there that are real flying discs that we already have.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be shooting at things on the ground to whip up the fear.
Gotcha.
Now, and then, well, there's another one, and that is there will be telepathic and electronic communication. It is called, it's an old technology that the earliest I found was in 1978, when they had the technology to beam microwaves to your head and impose voice on the microwaves so you can hear the voice of somebody in your head. It's called voice to skull technology. Google it, you'll find it.
Oh, I'm aware
voice
of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is a real technology, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen it demonstrated.
Yeah, and on
it's
top
unnerving
of that, it's not
too.
Just voice. Yeah, it is. And you wonder, then there are people now that is done shootings and stuff, and they say, oh yeah, I heard God told me to do it.
Right.
Who was that talking to them?
Yeah.
I got a sneaky suspicion there.
Yes.
And then you will have universal supernatural manifestations, which also will be holographic. In the Western world, you will see Jesus in the sky, and a huge image of Jesus in the sky, and then they'll engage the voice to skull technology, where Jesus will be telling you, do as the government tell you so they can protect you. I don't know if those are going to be the words, but something similar. And of course, the Christians, they're going to say, well, absolutely, we'll do what Jesus tells us. And if you're in Saudi Arabia or somewhere where there are Muslims, you're going to see Muhammad up there saying the same thing. And they're going to believe it too. So now this is how they plan to pull it together so that they can get that one world government that they have been planning for a long time.
The only problem I have with that is, given the 24-hour news cycle, it's faster than that too. It's more like a 1-hour news cycle. It's incredible how fast we can share information. If we have holographic Jesus and holographic Muhammad and holographic Moses, for all I know, David, whoever appears over in Israel, isn't someone going to connect the dots and say, wait a minute, that's a little suspicious, So, I mean, you'd think so. Yeah. You'd hope so. But, I mean, there are those who are just going to drop their knees and say yes. But, yes, it was, yeah.
I think so, because there's so much information out there now about Project Bluebeam that there's going to be 14,261 YouTube channels saying this is fake. Don't believe it.
Don't believe it. Here's the problem. And the analyses will come out. Sure. Here's what we saw. That type of thing. So it's
yeah.
And it happens all the time. It's like, let's do the breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. I got this from 3 different angles. I mean, it just happened recently in the news cycle. I'm not going to say which because I don't want to bug anybody with it. But we had 4 or 5 different angles on a given event, and it was painfully obvious what the truth of said event was. Again, I'm not going to specify, but it happens all the time, especially nowadays. I mean, the breakdowns come fast and furious too,
Yeah.
and they're surprisingly accurate, even if they're repeating the information from
That's,
from channel to channel. But it's so. I think, given how quickly we can relay information, like you were saying, I think Project Bluebeam, for the most part, is in the can. I mean, they had to flush that one down the toilet, so to speak.
yeah. But there's going to be a lot of sleepers out there that haven't come out from underneath the rock yet. They're going to believe it.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely correct about that. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd
But
like
there's
us to be
a lot of
informed.
sharp people out there
Yeah,
that is watching. A lot of sharp
this
people
is true.
watching, and they're analyzing things. Yep. And I count
Absolutely.
on them.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sharp in my analyses as well when it comes to that type of thing. I was trained in doing that when I was a private detective. So it was,
Hmm.
part of my training was doing analyses of things anyway. So, but I mean, not everyone has that training. Not everyone has that instinct. So it's important to really kind of get the word out there to second guess pretty much everything. Unfortunately, I mean,
Yeah.
we live in that world, but it's I think it's a matter of course these days.
Hmm.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So you think what? Like May or August or something like that, we're going to see some disclosure, at least here in the U.S.
Uh, you guys say that again. You were
I was
breaking up a
asking.
little bit.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the weather. It kind of messes with our signal a little bit. The excuse me.
Oh,
I was asking about the timeline. You kind of suspected it was a few months out when we get disclosure here in the U.S. from the office of the president. Do you have a date, like a month, like May or August or something like that, or just curious?
oh boy, I wish I did, but I think it's getting to the point where, like you said before the show, that when we talked, you said Trump is backed into a corner now.
Mhm.
He's got to do something. So we'll get a snippet, just a little bit, saying him coming out and say, yeah, there are aliens out there, and maybe we have a few alien bodies from recovered from crashed flying discs. But
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to get much because I don't think he knows that much. But
could
he
be.
is briefed on the fact that they are real. And he is also briefed on the fact that the military is managing the situation.
Oh yeah.
So, but he has a power to go to the head of the CIA, go to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and go to the FBI and say, look here, this is what we're going to do, and you are going to do it. You're going to release all the UFO information that is not totally damaging and damaging because of national security. And if you don't, I'm going to fire you.
It's
And
pretty
then
tragic.
I'm going to say the same thing to the next guy.
Right.
If he doesn't, I'm going to fire
Right.
you. So we're going to get some things, but it could take a little while to get more information beyond the fact that, yes, they're real.
Yeah. And then,
Because that's
like I
what I
said
would do.
before. Oh yeah, that's what I do too. It's like just let it go. Well, the John Lear, or John Lear Jr. I can't remember which was on Coast to Coast AM like a decade or two ago, and he laid out perfectly what the scenario is and put the audience in place of the president. Okay, you're the president. And here's what we have. Here's what we know. We have these creatures, and they this is roughly what they look like. So there was a pen sketch, pretty accurate, but not photographically accurate, so it wouldn't terrify him out the gate. Because apparently we have some pretty unique looking individuals that you could easily mistake for a demon or a dragon or something along those lines. Even the insect ones
Yeah.
are kind of scary looking apparently. So he says, okay, so here's what we have, here's what we know, here's the kind of ships they fly, here's the ones who are nice, here's the ones that are not so nice. And if we do this, here's the expected reaction: chaos in the streets, financial collapse, religious collapse, and potentially worldwide wars breaking out for, pro-alien, anti-alien. And, so the choice is up to you, Mr. President. Do you release the documents, yes or no? And that's how he put it. And the way he structured the whole thing was, it's best to keep this a secret for now. That was the intended answer, I think. The way he structured the question and the scenario. So I thought that was a little diabolical on his part, but I still see where he was coming from. But I think we're more advanced between, say, even 40, 50 years ago compared to now as thinkers, at least for the most part. Like you said, there's some who've been living under a rock, and they're going to see the hologram in the sky and freak out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah,
I
I think we are
Got a
more
feedback there.
advanced now than we were 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I think people, if we now, it became common knowledge that yes, like you said, there are different types of them and they're all here. People would accept it. I think 90% of the people says, "Oh, that's cool,"
yeah,
but there's gonna be some that say, "Oh no, we're all gonna die,"
right.
and
I
they will
agree.
come around too later on when
Oh,
they
they
see
will.
that we didn't die. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
so
I agree. I mean, it's our someone somewhere, I can't remember where. It was rather recent. At least it was made of. Oh, I was aware of it rather recently, where the Mayans had their 2012 calendar. That's where things ended for them. But the reality was that's where that's where the apocalypse, which technically translates as change, not obliteration, it was going to happen. And they're relatively right about that. People were more open minded about the whole alien thing, UFO thing, and all that fun stuff by about that time. And we just progressively gotten more and more into this disclosure change up to today. And, I think it's just a matter of time before it really is just obvious. And, I'm going to volunteer for the first ride on a spaceship because I want to go faster than the speed of light. I just want to see the stars do the
yeah,
thing like in Star Trek. You know, it's purely selfish. I'm not going to lie. But that's what I want to do. But I don't think it'll be a bad thing. I mean, if they come down here and says, okay, march in line or else, yeah, I might have a problem with it. But by and large, if you take all the collective outsiders, so to speak, the like the guy who transmits with the alien Balar, I can't remember his name, the alien's name, but they're also, most of these guys are saying we're good, we're part of this galactic federation, we're protected, yada yada, it's all gonna be fine, it's gonna be like Star Trek, it's all gonna be great. So
yeah.
I tend to want to side with that idea, with that picture, and I'm hoping everyone else does too.
Well, that thing is coming. And in fact, if we had listened to Nikola Tesla 120 years ago, we would have been traveling among the stars right now.
Oh, I know. Why no one took him
Absolutely.
seriously or gave him the benefit, it eludes me. It's not logical. I get it. There was a financial problem, but I mean, come on. Really? You're worried about money? Come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
But there is a part of humanity that is already traveling among the stars, and that is the secret space program. In fact, that started back in right after Second World War, when
Oh,
the Allied forces overran Germany. They found flying discs. The Germans made flying discs, and they made flying saucers because they created this power system they called the Glocke. That means the bell.
the bell. Yes.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and the thing about that is that the Germans told us at the time that we have this technology, but that has been all covered up. In fact, I had a friend in here in Tucson. They lived right here in Tucson. I interviewed him probably 2 or 3 times on my TV show. Colonel Wendell Stevens.
Hmm.
He he was probably the one person in the world that knew most about the German flying saucers.
Oh, crazy.
And I was over at his house one time, and he showed me some old German papers that he got in a hold of. It was written in German, so it was kind of hard for Americans to understand. But I know enough German to be able to translate some of it for him.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
this is something that they explain that yes, they have the Haunebu. They talked about the Haunebu 2. The
Hmm.
Haunebu 1 was unstable and it kept crashing on them, so they couldn't find any pilots to fly it anymore. And but the Haunebu 2 was stable. The
Good.
Haunebu 1 was a terrestrial vehicle. They didn't go into space, but the Haunebu 2 did because it
Oh,
was totally self-contained, and it created a, an electromagnetic bubble around the craft so that it could go outside of the Earth atmosphere into the radiation field. And the radiation would not hurt the people inside because it
right.
was blocked by the magnetic field. Now, this was it was explained in some of those papers, and I after his death, I was not in Tucson at the time, but I wonder where those papers went because I like to find out where they did go because those things need to be made public.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, during the in about 1940, 41 or something like that, there was a German it was Navy Grand Admiral Karl Donitz. He stated in a speech one time, the German submarine fleet is proud to having built for the Führer in another part of the world a Shangri-La, an impregnable fortress.
We're
He
in
talked
Shangri
about
La.
what they did. Yeah, he talked what they did at Antarctica.
Ah,
They
okay.
created, they created, and Colonel Stevens talked about this, and there were there were papers to that effect. They built a German base, and the base 211. It was at Neue Schwabenland, or New Swabia, as we call it in English,
Hmm.
and that is in Queen Maud's land. There is
Huh.
a base there called New Berlin. That is the main base. And Neue Berlin, that was the German version of it. And this has been expanded. They thought it was a huge it was a cave system
Oh.
inside. not inside the ice, but inside the rock.
Gotcha. Is
Inside.
this where Admiral Byrd went?
Yeah, he may have found it. I don't think he went in because the Germans came. They came out of the water with their flying discs, and there is a short video on YouTube somewhere. I've seen it where they see those discs flying above his ships, and they're shooting at them because a lot of the soldiers that he brought with him down here, like 70 ships, they brought them down there. They was ready for war with the Germans.
Yeah.
And the Germans, they kicked their butts so bad that he went back, he retreated and left because they sank several of the ships. They killed a bunch of soldiers, and they realized there that we're not going to fight the Germans because we will lose.
Yeah, they
And
clearly
this
had
is
no
something.
bring out there.
Yeah, there is videos on this also on YouTube that there's one guy, he said, before I die, I have to tell the story. So there's one on that too that talk about it. They started building this base in the 1940s or even 39 possibly before, because the German philosophy was the same as Napoleon Bonaparte. He said, we're going to fight as we are going to win, but we will plan as we are going to lose.
Yeah.
That's why they started building what's outside the back door. A lot of the high-ranking German officers disappeared about the end of the war. They were flown out of there and flown down to the Antarctic base, which is located in the Muhlig-Hoffmann Mountains in Neue Schwabenland. And there is also a video there that shows a huge opening. It's kind of a curved opening.
Oh, sure.
That
I
goes
think I've
into
seen that.
that cave system. And
Pretty cool.
for what they're doing in there, they have free energy. They don't use oil. They developed that from Die Glocke. Let me just mention something about the technology of the bell.
Yeah.
They used red mercury as the fuel for it.
Okay.
And they had 2 chambers, one inside of another one.
Okay.
And they had one, they were perfectly round. In fact, the bell was about 10 foot tall, about 7 foot wide. Yeah. And they had 2 cylinders, one inside of the other one. They had red mercury inside of both of them. And they were rotating them in opposite directions.
Gotcha.
And when you spin red mercury, this is a scientific fact. We have found that when you spin red mercury, it spits out free electrons. Those electrons, they have an electric capacity that create a plasma field around that extends quite a way outside. So the Hornby 2 used that, and the Hornby 3 also used that.
Okay.
Now, there was papers found showing that they had at least initiated, and Colonel Stevens, he said he thought they actually had completed a Hornby 4, which they replaced. They replaced the red mercury with D2O, deuterium, which is radioactive water.
Yeah. Isn't that heavy water?
And there you go. Because the radioactive water spits out more energy. But what they did not plan on is that the people that worked on the project got sick, and there is also a record of at least 5 of them having died from the radiation. But what worse was that when the D2O permeates the ship, the metal becomes brittle.
Oh, good.
And
Jeez.
there
Wow.
is, they sent one of the Honeybee 4s on a trip to Mars, but they lost contact with it. They don't know what happened.
Oh,
So I kind of suspect that maybe in space, the ship got the metal in the ship got so brittle that either by maybe space debris could have penetrated the ship, and or it broke up somehow because they don't know what happened.
okay.
So that's
Wow.
this is something that is highly classified, because the American, when they overran Germany, they found the drawings, they found several Honeybee 2s and possibly
Okay.
1s that was not flyable, so they couldn't fly it out at the end of the war. So they left them in the manufacturing plants, and they exploded a lot of the
Yeah.
material in there because they didn't want the Allied forces to get it. But the Allies got 2 of them, at least according to Wendell Stevens, and also the Russians got 1.
Oh,
So
okay.
now, out of that come Operation Paperclip.
Yes.
They got a hold of a lot of the people that worked on this, brought them to the United States, and say, build us or re-engineer or whatever it takes, create one. So the Germans did that, and that took them a while. So maybe a year or 2, I don't know. And then after they picked the Germans' brain, got everything they know, they kept the Germans here. And
Yeah.
the German created an underground network of knowledge and
Hmm.
connection with their people in Antarctica. Now, the
Oh.
Russians did it different. They picked the Germans' brain. They found out everything they know. And then they sent the scientists back to Germany because they didn't trust them.
Yeah.
We,
Smart.
we screwed up.
Yeah, we did.
We screwed up because we didn't send them back. Now, that underground NASA, those scientists, they're
Hmm.
still running the show.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
And they are working with their friends in Antarctica. Now, this is sensitive stuff, but if you talk to some of the people that is on the secret space program, they have some knowledge of this. And Wendell Stevens, you can go to find his books. I think some of it is actually on Amazon.
Okay.
I know I saw it there one time, and there are things he write about. And if anybody know where his papers went after he died, I really would like to know, because I want to talk to those people. There's got to be something that has to be published on this.
Agreed. And me too. Reach out to me or
Yeah.
reach out to Augie directly about that, please. My
Yes.
email is below. You can go to broadcastteamalpha.com. Let Augie know what's going on there. I also want to welcome an SNX radio host. I forget her name, unfortunately, but she joined us in the chat. But before we continue, we have to take a little station break. So bear with me for like about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back after these words. This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN esoteric programming at its finest.
Long ago in the ancient world, the tribus omnes lux, later known as the Tridents, were celebrated heroes, defenders of humanity against unspeakable monsters. Today, they continue that sacred duty in secret, hunting the dark evils that lurk just beyond the shadows. They are the Trident of Light.
And we'll be right back after this. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Sudano, host of Paranormal Insight, a weekly video magazine that reaches 500,000 viewers and listeners every week on average, and the number is only growing. Connect your brand with our curious, dedicated audience who want authentic content and authentic brands. For further information on putting your brand on the show, contact me directly at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to talk about the strange and the unusual. Check out our Patreon. Get deeper behind-the-scenes insights. Also, tips into being a better paranormal investigator and other fascinating content. Follow us on Instagram at paranormal.insight. Stay informed on upcoming shows, see what paranormal trends we're following, and help us reach 50,000 followers by liking, following, and sharing. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube at paranormal_insight. Click the live tab to see our latest videos. Oh, there we are. We're back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight, and we have Aage Nost on the show with us, talking to us about disclosure that's already been disclosed. You know, and we were just talking about the Nazi connection with all this advanced stuff that's still being used in the secret space program. Now, I have a question for you. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. There are multiple secret space programs according to nations. Is that correct? Like France has one, and Russia has one, we have one.
Well, there are different facets of it.
Okay.
There's a manufacturing base on the moon where they are making ships and different things. And they don't necessarily get out into space and go, traveling around much. They're actually being treated like slave labor. A lot of the people that are, there are thousands and thousands of people, especially kids, that is disappearing every year. Where do you think they go?
Like apparently
the slave labor on the moon. That is,
wow.
Yeah, that's part of it. But there are other things that is too sensitive to talk about. People won't believe it anyway.
Gotcha.
So, but then you have the guardians. They are the ones that is basically sitting in orbit, watching alien spacecraft coming here and stopping them and finding out who they are, what their mission is. So there are some of them, they won't let them through.
That's good.
But also, in some cases, could probably be. They had the base operations on Mars as well, on the moon. So there are different facets of it. And I think that NASA is a big part of that, but not the NASA that we hear about. The NASA we hear about is for outwards consumption only.
PR front, kind of.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a PR front. They're just, we're still using rockets like we did 120 years ago. In fact, the Chinese used rocket over 1,000 years ago.
Yes, they did. Yeah, that's an intriguing comparison.
I mentioned the Nazi flying discs and the
Yeah.
saucers. I have a spec sheet on it that I extracted from Colonel Stevens. Let me talk about the Honeybee 2.
Okay.
It was 76 feet wide. That's 26 meters wide.
Okay.
They call it the V7.
Re
They
seven.
had the yeah, the drive on it, the engine was, they call it the Thule Taconator. Taconator, the Thule
Tachometer.
Taconator
Yeah. Okay.
7C.
Oh wow. Oh,
Taconator.
Taconator.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the steering mechanism was a magnetic directional impulse with a gyroscope for stability.
Oh, that's so cool.
And also, it could go 6,000 kilometers an hour. That is,
Wow.
probably around maybe 4,000 miles an hour.
That's well over Mach
The hull
10.
was,
Yeah.
was a double hull with a cooling solution inside of it. The metal that was in there that was developed by the Germans, they call it the Victalion. Victalen. That was the name of the metal that they had. They had a crew of 9 people. They had 6 cannons on it. But they also had something they called the Pristron Motorstapel tube.
What does that translate
Uh,
to?
yeah, that Pristron Motorstapel, that means something that stops motors because it
Oh, an
just,
EMF, an
yeah,
EMP gun, basically.
yeah, it was the directional EM pulse.
Okay. Okay.
Now they had 6 cannons on it, so it's a warship.
Yeah.
And I had on another computer, I had the test, one of the test flights from the surface to 60,000 feet in 3 minutes,
Ooh.
straight against gravity.
Yeah. That's pretty
Now,
impressive.
now I know I'm a retired pilot. I know what it takes to fly against gravity.
Right.
Now there are airplanes that can do 5,000 foot per minute climb. I've been in one of them,
Hmm.
but that's only 15,000 feet. This one goes to 60,000 feet in 3 minutes.
That's crazy. That's well above the atmosphere too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I want to mention something about the Honeybee 3 also. They had a crew of 32 people. It was usually, for the most, used for evacuation to base 211 on the moon, and also evacuation to base 211 in Antarctica.
Okay.
Now I can do 40,000 kilometers an hour. Well, that's
Okay.
probably around 20,000 miles an hour.
Still more than fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, they had magnetic field directional impulse, but they had no gyro. They didn't need it. They got rid of the gyro. And there were 19 known Honeybee 3s that was made.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have the Honeybee 4, which is very, very contested, according to Wendell. He thinks they made at least 1 or 2 of them. That was 120 meters, that's 393 feet across.
Wow.
That's the one they sent to Mars that they lost contact with.
Okay.
And but the Germans, They were brilliant people, and we gained their knowledge and their technologies, and we had it for over 70 years. What do you think they have developed from that? I know we have developed faster than light speed
Oh, fun.
and and interstellar travel. All of this is under the black cover of the secret base program.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. See, the Russians, they got 200 of the German, no, 2,000 of the German scientists and administrative officers, medical researchers, and police, interrogation scientists, biological weapon experts. Oh, they got a bunch of stuff. And we did the same. We are told that we got 1,600 of them. No, we didn't. We got at least 3,300 scientists from Germany.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of them military, 1,800 of them to political science, experimental medical research, and things like that. And these people, they traded life for work in the United States.
Wow.
And just as a novelty, I want to tell you something. Nothing has changed in Europe. They're still Nazis. Hitler's chief of staff became the chief of staff of NATO. His name was Adolf Hausinger. Adolf Hausinger of NATO, he was the chief of staff of Adolf Hitler. So they imported the German empire right into NATO.
Wow.
And many others were also imported into powerful positions within NATO and the European Union.
Wasn't
what do you think?
the most recent leader of the WHO also related to or imported from the Nazis at one point? He retired and some new guy took over, but
you got it.
Yeah, thought so.
You got it.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, good times. But I talk about. I wrote a book on this, and in fact, I should have taken it down. Or maybe I'll do that so you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This I talk about some of this. Oh, hey, where did I go?
You're there somewhere.
Yeah, there yeah. Spiritual science, higher conscious thinking, and how to access the universal consciousness. This book will teach you how to use your mind in ways you normally would think impossible. In fact, I talk about in there how you can actually engage yourself in time travel. I have a whole chapter on it because I've been messing around with time travel for quite a while. And if you go to Broadcast Team Alpha website, broadcastteamalpha.com, go in there into the picture gallery, go to page 15, and you will find two pictures in the middle of the page, which explains how I took some pictures during a time slip, going backwards in time and taking two pictures. So this is something that it is very possible. Time travel is absolutely. Let me see. I had some notes on that.
Yeah. Please.
There's some media. Yeah, there's some media that actually confirms it. Talking with scientists, there are. If you go to bbc.com, go to July 11, 2018 and
Okay.
see an article on time travel. They interview scientists saying, yes, we know how to make a time travel machine.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And also, if you remember the guy named Ben Rich, he was the head of the Lockheed Skunk Works. When
Ben
he
Rich, yeah.
he retired in 1978, he made the statement that if you have seen it on Star Trek, we already know how to do it.
Yep. And that was in 78, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. By the way, I got a picture of your book up on the screen here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's available at Amazon.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, there's the.
Yeah. If you,
this is thrift books, so don't do that. But do Amazon. But now you know what to look for.
Yeah. And time travel is one of those concepts that since the government denies it, all the sleepers, they're going to say, oh, yeah, there is no such thing. You can't do that because their mind cannot imagine future technologies. If you go back 100 years, much of what we do today will be considered magic 100 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Can you imagine all these cell phones and stuff like that in 1926? I mean, come on.
If you went back 200 years with a cell phone, they would burn you at the stake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're a charcoal briquette. That's right. For sure.
Yeah. To give you an idea on time travel also, which actually kind of very clearly prove it's impossible. I mean, it's possible. There's a guy named Andrew Carlsen. In 2003, he was arrested for insiders trading in New York. And he started with $800.
Okay.
And he, in two weeks, he made that into $350 million. And of course, the regulators, they start looking at that and they say, wait a minute, that can't happen. He had inside information somewhere because he took 126 high-risk trades and never lost a single dime on any one of them.
Crazy.
So they came and arrested him. They hauled him into...
Wow. Oh, I don't know if I lost him or if something happened. I hope I'm broadcasting still. But we lost him for a second. Hopefully he'll come back on. But he was ladies and gentlemen, this is just amazing. I'm probably putting up a front that I'm taking this in stride, but I'm still amazed by all this. Now I've heard most of what he's been talking about. But it's, yeah, I don't know if this is going to reset or what. Hopefully it will. I don't know if this is on my end or not, so let me check a couple of things. Oh, yeah, he lost him. He'll come back in a second, I'm sure. I'm hoping. In the intro, oh, there we go. Yep. Oh, Helen joined us. Helena, thank you for joining us in the chat. You joined us when we lost our guest, but he'll ring back in a sec. I'm pretty sure. And while I check the email to make sure he knows what's going on, let me also invite you, somewhat unrelated thing, and I hate to take a pause like this, but let me invite those of you who are filmmakers or may know filmmakers to check out the new film festival that's going to be happening at the end of May called the Indie Innovation Film Fest. Whoops, I used the wrong file to bring that. Hold on, just bear with me. I'm so sorry. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. And the Indie Innovators Film Fest is open to all genres. There it is up on the screen. Oh, and I think he's about ready to come back in here. So let me share this briefly. Add it to the stage. There it is. So if you know a filmmaker out there who wants to submit their film and has intriguing stuff to share with the world, we're getting submissions from all over the world. We just got one from Spain the other day, which is very cool. So, from Sweden. Oh, Helena's from Sweden. Part of watching UFO radio shows all the time. Thanks, Helena. I appreciate you guys being here. This is so cool. Yay. If you know any filmmakers in Sweden, send them my way. There's a QR code right there. I'll zoom in on it if I can. If I can find it. There it is. I'll zoom in on the QR codes. Y'all can see it a little bit, and I'll leave it up there for a second or two. And yeah, please do join us in the film experience. You know, I'm also a filmmaker. Here's Augie. Augie came back, so we'll dump this and move on. Augie's back! Yay!
Hey!
Sorry about the technical snafu. Yeah.
Do you think somebody didn't like me?
Quit that guy from talking. What's going on?
Maybe we had interference.
Could be. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me tell you. But let's pick up where you left off and risk it. You know, let's. So we have. You know, I'd kind of lost track of where we were. I was talking about
Andrew Carlson.
Yes.
Andrew Carlson, and he took $800 and made $350 million from it in 2 weeks by doing 126 high-risk trades. They were hauled into court because they arrested him for insider trading, and the judge asked him, "How do you do this?" And Andrew said, "Well, it's a little complicated," I said, "but I am a time traveler. I'm from the future, and I studied history. I knew which unpredictable companies would gain an enormous profits. So I came back, and I just couldn't help it. I had to play the game."
Yeah.
And he said, "I played the game, and it got out of hand." He said, "So I apologize. You can keep the money." He said, I'll just leave." And the judge told him, he laughed at him. He said, "You're going to stay in jail until you tell me who your source for the information is."
Okay.
So they put him back in jail and put a $2 million bond on him.
Wow.
And a couple of days later, a guy came in with a suitcase with $2 million in it, paid his bail, and they both left, and they've never been seen since. Now, the thing about Andrew is he had no public record anywhere. No fingerprints, no driver's license, no birth record, no nothing anywhere. He did not exist according to government records.
Crazy.
So, and the people said, "No, this was a story that was made up." But you know, I'm a digger. I contacted the people at Rikers Island where he was kept in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a record of him being there.
I love it. I love it. That's great.
So it's alive and well.
That's good.
It's just that people cannot believe it because it will mess with their paradigm.
Yeah.
And that is something that the sleepers cannot have. And
man, that would be fun. I'd love to go back in time. That's great. I'm going to read your book tonight. So I said,
I think I froze for a little bit.
Oh, okay. I said I love time travel. I want to go back in time. Me? I can hear you. Yes.
You're frozen.
Oh. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Am I frozen now? My hands not open yet?
You're back.
Okay, fantastic. I was saying, I love time travel. I'd love to go back in time myself. I'm going to read your book.
Yeah.
Now,
I
do you know if this character used a machine, or did he use your technique or a technique like
Yes,
yours?
that is one of the things they asked him, where is your time travel machine? And he wouldn't tell them.
Mm. Okay.
He never answered that question. And of course, I wouldn't either because they would take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look what they did with Tesla when he passed. They raided his entire system. I mean, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Now, you said before that you wanted to travel faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, just for the aesthetic, just see the stars warp and all that. Just because I'm a kid.
Well, there is a way you can do that.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
Because thought waves
oh.
with mental images, thought waves. Oh, but hang on.
Am I moving
Okay,
yet?
I'm back.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
thought waves travel at the rate of at least 163 times the speed of light.
Wow.
So if
Okay.
you take your consciousness as an astral traveler, not astrally, but as a consciousness traveler, you can get out of the body and you can travel with consciousness, which is thought and
That's
thought
cool.
energy. You can travel faster than the speed of light. You can actually go to, let's say, Mars in a
Okay.
few moments.
That's cool.
And you can go to another galaxy. Actually, I haven't done that, gone to another galaxy. As an astro traveler, I've been to the moon. I've been to, you know, 3I7 and things like that. But it is uncomfortable when you start getting so far away. To me, I know other people say they're doing it, and I'm all for it if they do. But once you get out of the body and you start traveling like that, you have to understand and know the environment you step into. Otherwise, it could be a little scary because you see other entities out there. You
Oh,
see other things. And
okay.
those things and entity are very needy sometimes because some of them, spirits, they may not even know they're dead.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
they see you and they understand what you are and they come to you and they start clinging to you, say, well, help me out here. What's going on? Can you contact my wife and tell her I'm okay?
Yeah.
It can get a little hairy on the outside, but you have to know the environment so you know how to keep them away and protect yourself, and then you can go just about anywhere.
Do you describe that in your book?
Yeah,
Excellent.
very much so.
Very good. Very good. So we
And
have steps. That's good. That's always good to have
now,
steps.
now another thing that my co-host on Broadcasting Alpha, Nori Love, does, and I never thought of doing it actually, but she does something. She put them into a deep hypnotic state. She's a hypnotherapist.
Oh,
And then she takes them forward in time to meet themselves,
wow. That's cool.
to get advice from themselves. Hopefully, your future self is a little wiser than you are right now.
Fingers
Well,
crossed. Yeah.
we hope. At least if you're working on something, you could go forward in time and ask yourself, what did I do to make this thing worked 2 years ago?
Right.
You may get advice from your future self, which is perfectly okay because that's still you.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So there's something that she does that is really interesting by doing that.
That's really cool. That
Yeah,
that sounds great. I gotta see about booking a session with her. That'd be fantastic.
yeah.
Now, let me ask you a quick question about that because my brain just kind of fired up this little question here. The if you do that, you travel to the future, you get your advice, and you come back. Are you creating a quantum schism, like a parallel universe? Are you drifting into a parallel?
No,
No.
uh, in that case, you're not, because
Okay.
it is still yourself in this timeline in the future.
Okay.
Actually, what you do, you solidify this timeline going into the future. So you will be able to meet yourself.
Oh, gotcha.
But there are ways where you can actually start a new timeline where that did not happen.
So you can
And
actually, with practice, I imagine, find a better timeline for yourself and for the world or whatever.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes, actually, but that is a timeline that you have to create.
Yeah.
When you start a new timeline, there is nothing in it yet.
Yeah.
But you have to create that. So you can do that by creating something that you want in the future and then go back and forth and visit it. Now you solidify that timeline up to that thing that you really want in the future.
Okay.
Go back and forth in your mind and visit it every day. I have I changed timelines several times. The
Have
first
you?
one, the big one, is when I was growing up in Norway on a farm. I was going to be a farmer. I went through agricultural college and ran the farm. And if I did nothing else, I would have been a farmer. But I
Hmm.
didn't want that. So I left to the United States to become a professional pilot. That's when I created a new timeline, get a totally different direction.
Hmm. Now,
And
was this through your methodology or?
I did it. I did it in my mind first. Uh,
Okay.
for for about a year or so, just about every day, I visualized myself flying airplanes, sitting in the cockpit, left hand on the yoke, and the right hand on the thrust levers.
Nice.
I I felt it. I lived that dream for probably quite a while,
Gotcha. Wow.
and I
That's incredible.
solidified that timeline as it was on the farm back then. There was really no way I could do it. But the opportunity came and I went and did it.
That's great. Now, is that actualization then? Is that it's like focus on it, give it all the intent you can, and then because I've experienced that myself very
Yeah.
recently, actually,
Yeah.
and
And
yeah,
in this book, Spiritual Science, Higher Conscious Thinking and How to Access the Universal Consciousness, I go very deeply into how to change timelines. In fact, I got shows on it too on Broadcast Team Alpha, because if you don't like your life right now, screw it. You can create a new timeline.
yeah, make
You
another one.
can you can create a new timeline. Let's say you did something in the back that was so stupid that you're still hurting from it.
Right.
You can go back in your mind before that stupid thing and that stupid decision was done, and visualize yourself making a different decision. Now, in your mind, you're now creating a different timeline. So when you are getting closer and closer to that decision, it is could happen that you may end up making a different decision. Now,
Okay.
the thing is, when you create that new timeline, you lose sight and awareness of the old one.
Okay.
So you lose that. And now the other timeline, the first one, may still exist with you in it, but your awareness now is in the new one that
Oh.
doesn't have that decision in it.
Okay. Okay.
Now, remember, we are also born with free will. So
Yeah.
if you don't know what went wrong, you could make the same decision. So you have to install in yourself, in your mind, that I am more aware of what could go wrong, so I
Gotcha.
will not make that decision anymore. Make sure you impose that on the mind that goes with you.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Pay
This
attention,
is,
everyone.
I write about. If you read the book, you'll find out what I did and what you can do there.
Fantastic.
But
Oh,
this
oh,
is
that's golden.
everybody can do this.
That
In
is
fact,
just golden. I love
yeah.
it.
Now, another thing that I also, when I do these shows, I also want to give people something that will make their life better. And I want to take the next 2 minutes maybe to talk about that a little bit, because
Please do.
they find that in the book, and that is that for you and everybody listening, did you know that in 2009, three doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, nobody told you. Hey, folks, don't you know that there's a UN sanctioned depopulation program? So that's why they didn't tell you.
Uh,
Now, the thing about it is that science have figured out what causes aging and death. The major reason for aging and death is the shortening of the telomeres at the end of the chromosome inside every one of your cells. If the chromosomes get so short that there's nothing left, the end of the chromosome starts fraying, and the cell will no longer be able to replicate itself. So you get stuck with old cells, you get more and more of them, and you get older and older, and you get wrinkled and you die.
hmm.
If you can keep the telomeres long, the aging process stops or even reverses. And that is, I explain in the book easily how to do this. There's an enzyme called telomerase that will help the body to create enough of that enzyme all on its own.
That's
And
awesome.
you take that, now you can go to there's a pharmaceutical called TA-65. You can research it. It's rather expensive. It'll run you about $500 a month to do this. But I'm cheap, so I do it the cheap way. I use Chinese herbs.
Oh,
There's two herbs that really work. One of them is astragalus. If you take astragalus in the high doses, you will increase the production of telomerase, and astragalus together with black pepper extract, that will increase the 400 times more effectiveness. And when you do that, the telomeres will stay the same length if you take it in the large doses. I am doing it. I'm 80 years old,
you're
and
80?
yeah,
You don't look
I'm,
it. That's amazing.
I think I'm doing something right. So
Yeah.
so this is something that everybody can do, and there's also another herb that is called the immortality herb in China. It's called jiaogulan herb,
Gee.
and you take those two together, you are going to, well, I can say, if you're full of poisons right now, don't expect immediate results. You got to clean the body out, start eating healthy and exercise and so on. And also the mental exercises that I explain in the book. In my mind, I'm only 35 years old. I'll never be any older.
Gotcha.
No, I don't
Is that
accept
is that
aging.
is that half the
Oh, yes.
process to getting?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
Epigenetics is a new form of medical science that explains very well what you think, and what you allow to dwell in your mind the most is what you're going to have in your life.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful. I love it.
now, when you do this, when you start reversing the aging process, all age-related diseases will go away.
I like it. I like it.
Don't take my word for it. Go to the Nobel Committee's website. Go scroll down to 2009. Scroll down again to medical submissions and read the papers. You're gonna love it. Because one place is quite voluminous, but take your time and read
Mm.
it. Even the technical part that you don't understand, because subconsciously you absorb it. In there, one place, one of the doctor, I think, I forget where, I think it was the Japanese guy. He says, if everybody had enough telomerase in their body, there will be no reason for anyone ever to die from old age.
Wow.
And I know enough about the Nobel Committee, how they work. In the volume of papers, if they find anything wrong in it, anywhere, even a small detail, they'll throw the whole thing out.
And they don't get
Now,
the award. They
yeah,
do they and they get like you said, like an acknowledgement, like the papers are there, but they're not
yeah.
publicly put out there.
I do not accept illness. I have really never been sick in my life. Well, that's not quite true. I had some really well-deserved hangovers in my misspent youth.
I can relate.
Yeah, I deserved every one of those, but otherwise, otherwise, no, I really haven't. So
Excellent. Oh, that's great.
that's
So
because,
how long
yeah.
have you been in practice of this methodology then?
Oh, it's a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 5, 6 years now.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is something that you want to keep doing it. It's not something that you're going to do for 3 weeks and look like you're 35. It don't happen that way. I thought so at one time, but then I realized, no, it don't work that way.
Gotta keep at it.
It's very slow.
Okay.
You're coming back. But when you start astragalus and the jugular verb in large doses,
Mhm.
you're going to feel in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to feel a lot more energy and you're going to feel totally different. But the
Okay.
aging process you may not see. After a while, I had a lot of crow's feet, wrinkles and stuff.
Sure.
A lot of them has gone away. So you're going to, after a few months, you're going to start seeing a little bit of difference. In a year or so, you're going to know there's a difference, but it's very slow.
We're gonna take a nice close up of you here real quick. That's what Augie looks like right now, and he says he's
Yeah.
80. No, he does not look 80.
And you noticed another thing too. Most people my age, they have gray hair or white hair.
Yeah.
You know why I don't?
You're
The gray or white hair is a function of copper deficiency and an acidic body.
I see.
If you start taking ionic copper and alkalize the body, your hair color will come back.
Huh.
Now,
I
there's
love
a side effect to that, and that is that you're going to start looking funny because your roots of your hair is going to have color, and the outside, the length of it, won't. So you're going to look funny for a while, but
Oh, gotcha.
live with it. It's going to be good.
Man, what's that called? Copper? That type of copper?
Yeah, ionic copper. It has to be ionic.
Okay.
Colloidal copper, the molecule is too big. It will not make it into the cell.
Gotcha.
Ionic copper, that you can find that on the internet.
Excellent. Is there, do you have any brands you support?
Brain support?
Brands of these different medications that you support.
Gosh, there's several of them out there that have ionic copper, so that works pretty good.
Okay.
But I also use baking soda to alkalize the body.
Every day? Do you put it in your coffee or something? Or
Every day. I mix it with water.
oh, okay, excellent.
I do that
How
in the
much?
Oh, I between the morning and the when I go to bed, probably altogether maybe 1 teaspoon.
Oh, okay. You just dip it. Okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha, gotcha.
and
Okay.
I think this is something that what was I going to say? When you do that, I do it before I go to bed too, so it works on you overnight, but it will alkalize the body up to at least pH 8.
Oh,
If you keep it at pH neutral is 7.
yeah.
pH 8, you will never get sick. If you
Okay.
keep if you are on your deathbed with something, you may want to alkalize the body up to about 9 or instantly. Because
Gotcha.
Dr. Warburg over in Germany got the Nobel Prize in 1931 for discovering that no bacteria or virus can live in a heavy oxygenated and alkaline environment. If you have
Wow.
infections in your body, alkalize the body, the infection will die.
And does that go for parasitic infections as well?
Yeah, they can't live either. But
Okay,
remember now, I'm not a doctor.
I know that.
So what I'm talking about is established medical research I'm telling you about. I'm not diagnosing anything,
Yeah.
so don't come and tell me that.
Okay. Will do. So he's not a doctor. He just read about it, and it's
Yeah,
backed up by science.
yeah. I read medical journals. There's a lot of
Me
neat
too.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good
good deal.
stuff. Good stuff.
Lancet over in England is a wonderful place to do research.
Lambset. I gotta look that up.
Lancet, yeah.
Okay, I got that noted as well.
Yeah.
So wow. So we talked about disclosure. We talked about the healthy part of the keeping your body healthy, being more alkaline, and wow, what a wealth of information you are, Audie. This is fantastic.
Well, I've been around a while, so I learned a few things.
That's great. That's fantastic. So let me see if I can get your book up here real quick. Let me share what we have. First, I'm going to share your YouTube, which is somewhere on here. Where is it? Sorry, this is the fun part of. There it is. Boom. So this is. Nope. Now it is. Nope.
No,
Fun with technology. There it is. This is Broadcast Team Alpha's YouTube, and you can go there, and from there you can go to their website, which is, if I can find it,
broadcast broadcastteamalpha.com.
and that's scrolling across the bottom right now. So you can go to their website. Can they get the book at your website too?
Yes, but that might take a little longer. You on Amazon, it's much quicker,
Okay.
and yeah, that's
Okay. That's good stuff.
yeah.
Well, Augie, I wanted to thank you. We've hit the end of our time. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen watching and listening, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tim Sedano. That is Aage Nost. And
All right.
this has been Paranormal Insight. Augie, hang out for 2 seconds after the show is over. And we'll
Okay.
say goodbye
Thank
properly.
you for having me on.
Thanks for being with us. See you soon, everyone.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast gmail.com.